Hello, folks, and welcome to another edition of the Bill Crane Report. My good friend Dwayne Weiss is here, and we also have the privilege of having our good friend Jay Kenny here with us today. Without further ado, it's hotter than hell out, by the way. Let's get going on what we got to talk about. We got plenty.
It's nice out, Bill.
101 was my high temp yesterday on my digital thermometer.
Somebody complained yesterday about well, it's so hot. I said, well, tell me on the 1st of February when it's 5 below zero, you spent the last 10 minutes chipping ice off your car, you slipped and fell down once, and your car got stuck. Tell me, would you rather trade for today? I think you would.
Well, it's the 90% humidity. That's what's doing it.
Oh, Christ. That's
it was.
It's good moisturizer for your skin.
It was very humid first thing this morning.
I know.
yeah, it was this morning, really.
That's supposed to get alleviated here sometime today.
Yeah, so we'll get a couple of days
The
of
boomers are coming.
yeah, and that's fine too. Yeah. What the hell? So the most important thing I think to discuss first of all. Pat Sajak leaves Wheel of Fortune
That's right.
after more than 40 years as the host.
That's right. He did a good job. He did a damn good job.
For $12 million a year,
Yeah,
we
that's right.
should do a damn
yeah.
good job. I could do a good job.
I want Vanna's job. I just don't want to wear the dress.
Now, she's going to stick around for
Yeah,
another
she's
year,
staying.
right? Or 2 years.
A year or two.
Yeah.
She gets like $3 million a year to turn him.
No.
Well,
She gets the same pay he does.
Oh, does he?
Yeah. They are partners.
Okay.
Now, I don't know whether that's in writing or not, but I read quite an article about
I saw on
this.
the internet.
And
I looked up to see what they're worth.
Yeah.
They're worth big bucks.
Oh, they are.
God.
Yeah.
Do you remember who was doing it before Pat Sajak?
Yeah.
No.
Alex Trebek.
Chuck Woolery.
Woolery.
Yeah,
Remember Chuck Woolery?
No, I never.
I did remember him on
I
the
never watched.
dating game or something, whatever that was.
I never watched it until I think I got married.
Yeah.
Well,
He's an icon. It's sad
Really?
to see him go.
never heard of him.
No, I'm talking about Pat Sajak.
Oh,
He's
Pat
an
Sajak.
Yeah, he's the icon for sure.
He was in the military doing radio, I think it was.
Yeah, and he's blended into it.
Yeah, he's so low key.
He is.
If he makes a
is-
mistake, he just laughs about it and
yeah,
goes
he is,
on. And,
He is the most self-effacing.
yep.
You know what? You'd love to have him as your next door neighbor.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. 77 years old.
Is he that old?
Yeah.
Holy cow. that's
My
good.
word.
And he's done 8,000 episodes.
Yeah, I saw that the other
Yeah.
night.
So anyway,
That's
from,
only our house.
I think-
We don't do nothing but what. I stay in the kitchen usually. I can hear it though.
the repeats are in the can.
Yeah.
So you can look forward to 8,000 more shows.
No kidding.
Starting with number 1, which you'd long forgotten, and
Which one of the pretty boys is taking his spot? I forgot. He's on all that kind of crap.
Ryan Seacrest.
There you go. I knew our able-bodied
Ryan Seacrest.
producer in there would know all this stuff.
that's his job.
Because he's
Be
not
on
losing.
top of things.
Good job, Andrew.
Well, anyway, well, that's great. Good luck. And by the way, he could have hung on for a lot longer.
Who?
Zajac.
Zajac? Oh, yeah.
But you know what?
Gotta retire sometime.
Retiring while he's still young and healthy, 77, do it.
We made that mistake. We didn't do stuff that we could have.
That's right.
And we said, oh, no, we'll wait a few years.
Yeah.
We'll wait a few years. And then circumstances, she got lymphoma and we couldn't travel. And then, well, hell, now we're stuck. Now we can't travel like that.
Yeah. Well, you're absolutely right.
Do it while you can.
My wife and I had a plan that no kids for 5 years. And we were going to take a trip to Europe.
Oh, yeah, we got the same thing.
Yeah.
Not that one, but
And then another trip to Europe so that we could go to Lithuania, Germany, in Ireland.
Yep.
And you can't, in England, you can't do that in one trip.
Right.
Unless it's a 30-day deal. But, so 9 months and 9 days after the wedding, we had our first child. That showed a lack of restraint
On somebody's part.
on someone's part, yeah.
Or somebody was very impulsive.
I'm not going there.
Okay.
And all the plans went down the
Yep,
tubes.
Yes.
so to speak.
And now it's, we're too old for that crap.
Yep, I know.
Yeah. I've got some of the stuff I want to talk about to make sure we get to it. But we'll just give it a glancing blow. Russian forces kill 6 hostage takers. Why is it we have to spend all this time negotiating with hostage takers? Shoot the bastards.
I know. We've talked about that before. We'd be better off if we just took them out and got rid of them.
That's right. I mean, for crying out loud, this shooting these hostage takers in Russia is going to stop this kind of stuff, or at least curtail it.
They won't do it again.
But I had done that a couple of years ago too.
Yeah,
Somebody
yeah.
had tried that, and they just went right in there and said, "Yeah,
That's
go
it.
ahead. Yeah,
That's it, they're gone.
you're out of here.
yeah, no, that's it. You've had your trial.
Your life is over."
You're done. Oh, look what's come to the head of the pile.
What?
My questioning of you guys.
Okay, we might as well start.
Start that one right away. Huh?
Go
People
to.
wait for this.
That's what I was just going to say.
They
I'm
hang
not
on
awake for
this.
this yet.
I've had people ask me where I get these questions. Go to a tea party or a birthday party.
Oh, birthday party. It's always a chance they're going to have some Jack Daniels, at least a beer.
Okay.
I'm a cake kind of guy.
You go to the birthday
Can you
party,
tell?
yeah. Well, the beer ain't any better.
This is a good one. Have tea with the Queen of England or with your favorite actor.
Oh, actor.
Actress.
Actress.
Which? No, actor.
Actor.
Well, that's both.
And so that the second part of the question is, who is your favorite actor?
I don't know if he's still alive. Sean Connery, I always liked him.
He's
Yeah, that's an
passed
excellent
away a few
choice.
years ago.
Yeah, I'm a big Clint Eastwood
Or Clint
fan.
Eastwood. He was another one.
Yeah,
I've got the Rawhide, every episode of Rawhide on DVD.
oh yeah,
If you ever want to watch that, I got it for you. Clint Eastwood, yeah, he's probably right up there.
right up there.
I got a couple of them. Tom Cruise, because I'm younger.
Yep.
So Tom Cruise did a great job. I remember when he was a kid doing the football movies and stuff like that. So I kind of latched onto him, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
He's an oddball as a Christian Science guy, but he's a good actor.
We don't dare go there on this show. Chocolate milk or hot chocolate?
Chocolate milk.
Hot chocolate, because you can always add to that.
Yep. Hot chocolate is my choice. Orange juice or grape juice?
Orange.
Orange.
I like
Getting
grape.
hard to find
I
now.
like grape juice. Apple juice or apple cider?
Cider.
Cider.
I like the juice.
Hard.
Watch football or watch baseball?
Football.
Football.
Yeah.
Although I will take
With me-
baseball when there's no football.
Yeah.
That's first choice.
It's pretty much a flip of the coin with me. I don't like some of the stuff I see in football, and I love baseball. Although I realize that for a lot of people that don't understand baseball, it's pretty boring.
Yeah.
It's gotten a lot better now. They put a clock on it.
Yeah. Visit China or Japan?
Japan.
Japan.
Yeah, me too. Visit Ireland or Scotland?
Ireland.
I got heritage in both.
Yep.
Ireland would probably be number one.
Yeah, me too. Although I've been reading a lot about Scotland. They're pretty interesting folks over there. Get a flu shot or a tooth filled.
Oh, flu shot. That's nothing.
I'm allergic to dentists. I could do a shot easy.
Yeah.
I did 8 hours in the dentist chair. They didn't knock me out. They did 3 root canals in 1 day.
Sounds like one of my previous dentists, Billy DiGiacomo. I went to high school with him. Said, I'm not giving you Novocaine, Billy. You're too stupid to feel pain.
I had to walk from the dentist building back to my barracks. They
Yeah, I was going to say the military did
That
that,
was a
to
military
you.
thing,
Yeah.
yeah.
Wow. Go to the opera or go to a musical?
Musical. At least
Yeah.
you can understand it.
I'm going to stay home from both.
Les Mis, I saw it in D.C.
Mm-hmm.
What a great show that was.
Really?
Yeah.
I sat through, what's the Christmas one?
Yeah.
Can't even think of the damn thing now. Most boring thing I ever saw in my life.
Oh, it's horrible.
Oh, you're talking about Tim?
No,
No. I know what you're talking about.
it's
A Christmas Carol.
opera and it's dancing and oh my God, it was so bad. It was. I thought halftime we were gone, and I was getting up, getting my coat, and she said, "Where are you going?" I said, "Well, let's get the hell out of here before the crowd gets out." She said, "It's only intermission." I said, "Oh my God, you mean
I
the
get
second
roped.
half to
I
this?"
get roped into Blue Man Group.
I enjoyed them.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh God. Go to the carnival or to a circus?
Circus.
Yeah, you get the animals circus, yeah.
I'd rather go to the carnival. Ride the tallest roller coaster or the fastest roller coaster?
Fastest. Neither now.
I don't
Years
do heights.
ago.
I used to. I don't know. Tallest. Why not?
You couldn't get me to go on either one.
No,
I have
no.
never been on a roller coaster
my.
in my life.
I used to seek them out.
Yeah.
And then as I got older, they scared the hell out of me. Of course, they got vicious too.
Yeah.
They used to be, they were sane,
Yeah.
I guess you could say. They up and down and turns, and now
Yeah.
they snap rolls and they flip you around.
Yeah,
And they snap
I mean,
your neck.
Upside
you go
down.
upside down and all
the
that.
upside down,
Yeah,
nothing.
you
That-
almost
that
going to
was
get me
easy.
to do that.
That's the last time I was on one. I was upside down and went, okay, that's it. I'm done with this one.
Air conditioners or fans?
We don't have we got air conditioners. We never put them in the last 3 years, just the window kind. And I'm comfortable with just a fan.
Me too.
I'm an AC guy.
Here we go. All right. That's it, folks, for that. Now,
That was
are
painless.
you aware that Congress is debating a rather serious subject? One you and I have discussed on the show, making women sign up for the draft.
I agree wholeheartedly.
Well, I would have to include something with that, and that is members of Congress need to also serve.
Oh, there's no question
Oh,
about
well,
that. That goes
you
without saying.
haven't been watching our program.
You're preaching to the
That
choir.
is one of the mantras on this show, boy.
Well, yeah. I
If
don't
you-
think they should be in
You can't be president
that
without
position
being
until
in this
they've
military.
served.
Okay, I'm jumping ahead.
We're all military guys, so we think that way, sure.
This is a letter to the editor of the Wall Street Journal. And it's written by Lieutenant Colonel Jerry Wessel, U.S. Army retired. He talks about the military and the discussion of Mr. Bush's leadership traits. I joined ROTC and pledged the Pershing Rifles Military Fraternity. Among the many things pledges were required to memorize and recite on demand were the 14 traits of a leader. As I read these, think about our leader in the White House. Military bearing, courage.
I got to go back 3 of them. We got to go back at least 3 to get any kind of military bearing.
Yeah. Courage, dependability, decisiveness, enthusiasm, endurance, initiative, integrity, judgment, justice, knowledge, loyalty, and tact, and finally, unselfishness.
Again, you got to go back almost at least 3
Yeah.
to hit it, start hitting any of
And
those
this
characteristics.
is the earmarks, if you will, of a military man, and that's why you must be a military veteran to run for high offices, and that includes the House and the Senate, as
That's
far as
right.
I'm concerned.
I'm surprised they don't have the 3 top items that should be considered as God, country, and family.
Well, that too, yeah, but this was defined by a group, a fraternity, and they've just adopted it at ROTC. And,
Okay.
But you're right. I mean, but right now, with the group that we have, I wonder how many of them would really want to put God in there.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the big failing, as far as I'm concerned, of this country.
Those that would are doing it for personal gain.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I'll get more votes. I can do
Yep.
this. I can do
That's
that.
it. Yeah. This morning's paper, the Herald,
Oh, okay.
has a quote from the latest state trooper in the Reed trial.
Okay. Are we talking about Proctor?
No,
No, not.
no.
A different-
He's been toasted enough. Nicholas Guarino.
Don't think I saw
He was asked this question.
I didn't see it yesterday.
Tell us how you assemble your data, trooper. The answer. Now, I'm going to go on this one slowly so it sinks in. How do you assemble your data is the question. As soon as the data is available that I can do it, I will. And if you know things come up, then you know I do it when it's able.
Yeah, well, look who you're dealing with, too. These guys are not Mensa.
Oh, no, wait a minute now. He's a graduate of a training, a junior college, and he's gone through training courses, and he's an expert on rejiggering, if you will, or crime scenes.
These guys are in their position by hook or crook. You know, they're
I
not-
know it. I know. I have one question for them. I wish I had been there and allowed to question them. Because I would have said, I have one question, Trooper. How did you get out of the 4th grade?
I mean, that's just word salad.
It is. It sounds like Kamala Harris would say that.
That's exactly right.
Exactly.
God almighty. And these guys have tremendous power.
Oh, absolutely.
They have the power to ruin people. I'm arresting you for drunken driving.
Yeah.
And what does that do to somebody? By the way, Patrick has a friend that got clipped for drunken driving. $10,000
At the end?
to go. Yeah, to
Yeah.
go to a
Yep.
drunken driving
Alcohol
education
awareness stuff, all that
center.
stuff,
Yeah,
Of course.
yeah. That, along with losing his license for 3 years.
Yeah, something like that.
My word. Yesterday on Fox News, they were talking about the super rich. Yeah,
Like the three of us?
yeah,
Or
exactly.
more.
I'm not supposed to disclose that.
I know. Everybody knows.
No,
by now.
everybody knows it.
Oh, okay.
And they had one of my favorite guests on, David Bonson, and Stuart Varney, and me. I weighed in on this. How do you define the super rich? How much in net worth do you have to be considered super rich in this country?
$1,000.
Well,
In cash at home?
Not all at once.
Oh, okay. All right.
Super rich?
yeah,
You mean net worth? What's your
Net
absolute
worth,
net
net
worth?
worth.
Because there's a,
yeah. Yeah, and super is the key word, it seems to me. There's rich, then there's super rich.
I say that if you got $1.5 million in your total net worth, you're rich. I say if you got like up to 3 or 4 million, then you're super rich.
I base it on a person walking into a home, tours the home, says, I like it, here's the check, it's mine.
What's that mean?
That means they can just buy whatever they want whenever they want.
Okay.
But
So
see, if you,
how
if
much?
you go on net worth though,
Yeah,
that's still
you got to
different.
come up with net worth.
You got to have money. You're talking dollars. Well, $1 million doesn't go anywhere anymore.
Well, no, I mean property, a business.
Right,
So,
assets.
so that
All your assets, yeah.
when you
Your assets,
say
total assets.
what is your net worth,
Yeah.
you total it all up.
Right. So, I mean, it's going to have to be 100 million. You're going to have 100 days worth of $1 million, I'm thinking.
Okay, because rich runs all the way up to 100, and super rich takes over at that
Oh,
point.
see? Okay.
Now, David Bonson said 50 million. Stuart Varney said 100 million, and I said 200 million.
Okay.
And I'll tell you why. There's an awful lot of rich people in this country. Entrepreneurs, starting businesses. I mean, holy cow. Anyone that doesn't want to live in this country is out of their mind.
Plus, particularly if you're dealing with net worth.
Yeah.
There's a lot of real estate wealthy people today because of what's happened with real estate business.
Well, there's an awful lot of people that are rich. And it starts, it seems to me, with the father that worked his tail off and invested in a good pension where he worked, was a saver, and when he passed away, his son inherits $7, $8, $9 million. The son has a head start
Oh yeah.
on being successful in life
yeah,
then, if his head is screwed on straight. Otherwise, he's out every night and drinks it until it's all gone.
Yeah, you
But-
need a backer. Yeah.
Yeah, but that seems to me that we are enabling people through our system of becoming quite wealthy at a young age. But did you watch the 5th game in Dallas? It wouldn't have been the 5th game, it would have been the 4th game in Dallas.
When they folded,
And when the Celtics lost.
yeah, it folded.
Yeah. Did you watch that?
Yeah.
Did you hear Jennifer Kennedy sing the national anthem?
Yeah, I did when we first started.
She was great.
Yeah, she was.
They ought to take every would-be singer and make her listen to Jennifer Kennedy. And they should say, sing it that way.
it was done when
Never
it was
mind
like-
screeching high points.
That's right. It was like it was written, like it was supposed to be
written.
sung. Yeah.
Absolutely. I think she should go right into the National Anthem Hall of Fame for that.
No, I watched all 4 games. When it came to the 5th game, I got everything ready. I said, here we go. Even Monica's watching it. And for her to get interested in any kind of sports, that's She said, this is pretty good. She said, I'm looking forward to tonight. I said, first period got done. I broke up. We had a few snacks. Next thing I know, the confetti's flying all over the place. I said, I think somebody fell asleep. I did. I looked over and she's sound asleep. She fell asleep before I did. We missed everything. First I said, I wonder who won. And she said, well, they wouldn't be yelling and screaming and going around like that if the Celtics lost. I said, you must be right. We missed the whole thing.
Wow. Well, I tell you, I watched the whole thing and was a good game.
It
So they're a classy group of guys, it seems like.
They are.
Yeah.
Very classy.
That's great.
You know, a fish stinks from the head down. Wick Grossbeck is a good guy, owner. He doesn't want the spotlight.
Right.
I mean, he'll speak up if need be. He's a good businessman. And he enjoys he loves basketball.
Did you watch the Brady retirement?
No.
No.
No?
No.
No.
That was good.
What?
It was.
I'll bet you
very
it
good.
was. Yeah.
Probably
very
if
good.
you were a Brady fan and you were...
You know, how could you not be a Brady fan?
You can be, but for 10 or 15 minutes, and then it starts getting...
Well, some of the stuff that was really good was the when Belichick came out. We got a standing O for 2 minutes, and
yeah, he should have.
that was great. And then Randy Moss. Randy Moss, they gave him a standing ovation.
Best receiver I've ever seen play football.
He started to tear up and cry and everything. He was touched.
He was
by it.
so happy to come over to the Patriots.
From Minnesota.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. The ownership treated him right,
Yep.
and the fans did too. You know, and that's what I think he got tired of the Minnesota fans because they were.
Oh, they were on
boomers.
him big time.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were always on.
Well, and they were on the whole team because Minnesota hadn't been able to produce. They
Yep.
they haven't gotten there. So
Oh, he's fantastic athlete.
yeah,
What? Big, strong, and he could outrun anybody on the field.
catch the ball with one hand.
Oof. So I have like 3 questions here that I think are very important. Dwayne, I'm going to throw this ball into your court because you and I have danced around this subject before. Are we headed for another 9/11?
I won't say that we are. I'm going to say that the potential is there for it. I don't know what our security services are doing anymore,
Yeah,
which
good
is the
point.
way it should be.
Yeah.
I hate it when the newspapers broadcast and print everything out that, well, this is this, and as if the bad guys don't read this shit.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
doing it on
Come on.
purpose. Yeah, they're hiding it on purpose right now.
What's that?
They're hiding it on purpose right now.
I think so too. That we should be. That should not be.
They're not going to tell you. "Here, we know what's going on here, there, and everywhere." You know, that's.
But I think the potential is there.
I think it is too, and I think it's becoming worse every day. And what I'm afraid of,
I don't think it'll be the same scenario. I don't think it'll be an aircraft crashing into a building.
Right.
But it'll be something other thing that they come up with.
how about 5 or 6 attacks simultaneously
That's right.
around the country
Yep.
by these terror cells? And those terror cells are out there.
If you attacked, and I hope nobody ever takes this but I'm sure they thought of it. If you attacked 20 grade schools at the same time across the country, you would throw this country into chaos. And those are soft targets. I don't care how much security guy you got at the door or not.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, and I've been reading too quite a bit about the shootings up in Maine,
Yeah, okay.
especially up in Lewiston.
Yeah.
That guy, the sergeant, I guess the state police sergeant, knew this guy had a screw loose
Well, a lot of people knew it was it was
Yep.
dangerous.
and was afraid to approach him. that guy should be fired and lose his pension.
That's right.
Immediately.
You're absolutely right.
Yep.
If nothing else, to set up an example for future.
Right. When you sign up to be a police officer, you get a lot of privileges that the rest of us don't have. But coming with that is responsibility. And you may have to get yourself in the middle of tough situations, but it's what you signed up for and it's what you paid for.
Yeah.
You can't back out of it.
No. But you're right. You signed up for it, you got to do it, because everybody's going to depend on you. Another thing, other than soft targets like grade schools, it's much simpler. Look how much devastation and destruction a wildfire does.
What?
If you were to say you had a sapper group in the country with 40 people driving around wherever there's forests and starting all the fires at the same time, not only just California, but Oregon, here, if we get a dry year, Massachusetts is all woods. You could set the country on fire before they could. And it's low risk. You could just be driving along and throwing stuff out the window.
Sure.
It's nothing.
Do you know what I'm really concerned about is the hatred in this country is
my
reaching
God.
a boiling point.
Yeah.
And I'm afraid it's going to manifest itself shortly before the election.
Yeah.
And it's going to be the nuts on the right are going to say, I'm afraid Biden's going to get elected and they're going to blow things up. Or the ones on the left
are going to do
are going to say, we can't have Trump. He's going to do this, that, and 9 other horrible things. And they go to the streets and start trying to burn the cities down.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I expect trouble. I really do.
really
we
do.
don't, but I expect trouble.
Well, I certainly hope we get through this and survive it without any bloodshed at all. Yeah. But I don't think we will. I think there's going to be trouble.
There's enough nutcases out there to qualify this.
Every day in the paper.
Well, something has to happen to bring everybody together. We are so.
Yeah, right. You're right.
I mean, the sea has been parted, so to speak, and everything needs to come together. And
Ronald Reagan, if we could only bring him forward and put him in the presidency again. He brought the country together, like it or not.
As horrific as 9/11 was, it did bring the country back together.
Yes, sure did.
George W. Bush did a hell of a good job.
We flew, I forgot what day, 9/11 is on what, a Monday? Yeah, I think it was.
It was.
And we were supposed to fly out on Wednesday or Thursday. Well, that didn't happen. But we did fly out mid next week. And it was the most security conscious thing. When you checked in, you were waiting in line, they would randomly pull you out of line and search you. Literally search you.
Yeah.
I mean, nobody bitched. Nobody said, hey, you can't search me. You don't have a search warrant. You don't have to. Everybody said, okay, I'll
Yeah.
I flew constantly around the country. And I flew exclusively the last 20 years of working out of Providence, Rhode Island.
So a lot easier.
Much simpler. I could not get a good price on a flight to Denver, Colorado. But the lady I was talking to, US Air, said, I have a $400 flight, round trip, out of Logan Airport. It would have been $1,200 out of Providence.
Wow.
With connection, And she said, I can put you out there for $400. Now, I didn't want to do that, but yet I had to justify it to my boss.
Yeah.
So I flew up on 9/11 Monday morning out of Logan Airport, the exact time those guys were hijacking the planes.
Did you get to Denver, or did they ground you before?
No, I had a connection in Philadelphia.
And that's as far as probably you got.
And that's as far as I got.
Yeah.
And Dwayne, I'll never forget it. I walked off the plane. By the way, they said, the pilot said, folks, we're going to be maybe 10 to 15 minutes late getting into Philadelphia. There's been a problem in the New York area, so we're giving it a wide berth. So we didn't know what the hell
you
it
didn't.
was, and he was very calm,
Yeah.
very
Almost
calm,
No panic on the
reassuring. Those pilots got to be that way.
They're the most unbelievable guys. Understating, calm. The guy could say, "Power, we just our 2 inches on the left just fell off, but we've got the other. We'll probably make it
We're
back."
good.
So I landed in Philadelphia, got off the plane, and I was walking by one of the kiosk kind of restaurants, snack
Yeah,
bars,
they
or
got
whatever.
TVs all over them.
Big TV. Here comes a plane coming towards a building and crashes into it. And I said, "Oh, shit." I thought it was live. They were showing replays.
Right.
I watched the whole thing.
Yeah. It was my son, Paul, was working, and he stayed home from work that day because of that. And he went and got Patrick out of school and brought him home to sit and watch that.
Yep.
And I was in Philadelphia for 5 days.
Yeah. You couldn't get a car. You couldn't get a bus. You couldn't get anything.
Well, you're right. And I was out in Valley Forge at the Holiday Inn out there that I used to stay at. Finally, this guy that I was having breakfast with said, "I've got a car, but I don't know. I can't get a hold of my boss. I'm new with the company, and I don't want to drive it back to Providence." I said, "Pray tell, why not?" "Well, I rented it down here,
Afraid of a drop-off charge.
so I'm afraid of getting my butt reamed."
Right.
I said, "So you don't want to drive it back?" I said, "Why don't I drive it back? Okay? And you can tell your boss, this guy overpowered me and made me drive back." So anyway, I convinced him. He called his boss. And I guess the boss said to him, "So there's going to be a drop-off charge. Do you know how much you're paying in room rent every night and food and everything?" I guess you reamed him out anyway for not doing it.
Can't win for losing.
Yeah. So I got as far as Providence and called my wife, and she came down and got me.
Yep.
Drove me down to the airport where my car was, and then we both went home. It was quite a day.
That was a day. I was having coffee, reading the paper in the morning, and I had Howard Stern was on. He was out of New York.
Oh,
A real idiot. And it's on the radio was up on the top of the refrigerator. I just kind of, I heard in the background somebody said, "A plane has hit the World Trade Center." My first inclination is some
small plane.
small plane, a student pilot or something, got too close and the wind blew him in. I said, "Oh, geez." I said, well, I went and turned the TV on to see what was on. I don't know, CNN, they had Fox or somebody, and there's a smoke coming out of this building, which everybody saw. And within 25, 30 minutes, I'm sitting there and I see this plane coming from the right side of the screen, like a 737 or something. And it's flying like this, and I said, what? Air traffic controller is so damn dumb, they're letting the traffic get so close to that burning building. He turned right into it. Oh my God, when he hit, I said, this is not an accident. And it took the commentator on TV, I bet you 5 minutes before he came to that conclusion.
Right. Yeah.
I said, how dumb are you?
He was in stun.
Do you recall watching that? Now, I saw it when I finally ended up at the hotel it was in the afternoon, I think. And so I saw the repeats of it all. And they were showing the people jumping out.
The first day, right, that day, they were showing people
Yeah,
actually diving off
exactly.
that building.
Yep.
You never saw it again.
Never
No.
saw
Ever.
it
They
again,
mentioned
and
it.
in no documentary have you ever seen
No,
it.
you're
again.
right. I thought that's where you were going with it, but
Yeah.
yes, it was. That was scary.
Yeah.
Sure
You know
was.
what really irritated me that day too? When they were showing things from around the world, when they got to the Islamic countries, and they were cheering
Yeah.
and honking their horns, and it was like New Year's Eve for them. You dirty SOBs. You know, you're getting millions of dollars of foreign aid here, and everything, and you're cheering.
I would really like to know, besides the JFK assassination, I would also really like to know what the involvement of the Saudis was
Yeah.
in
You'll never know.
9/11. Well, that's it. It's buried.
Yeah.
Just like the stuff about the JFK's.
Yeah, you'll never find out
Nope.
about that.
No. Oil men, I think.
Well, it's just like that shooter in Las Vegas.
Oh, yeah.
Did anything ever come out of that?
Bunch of dead bodies.
60-some people.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was 51 people. And you never heard a thing about what the motivation was, why he did it, anything. There was no manifest or
I
anything.
got something about that right here, I think.
And oddly enough, a year before, I was working for the traffic company, and I was standing at that exact spot at that concert, directing traffic, and exactly a year earlier. I was right there the year before, doing that before that whole shooting came
Yeah.
to be. And those kind of things stick in your head.
Oh, yeah.
Always,
No,
you
they
know?
always do, yeah.
Yeah.
They never go away.
We used to
Exactly.
stay a couple of hotels from there because we used to go to Vegas about twice a year. It's kind of scary when you've stood where that area is. But that was unbelievable slaughter.
I took a picture exactly right at the windows where he was standing of that building, of the Mandalay Bay.
Okay. Karen Reed. Have you been still following things, Dwayne?
Yeah, I missed it yesterday.
Okay.
We were
Not
tired.
much happened yesterday, I don't
Well,
think.
they read her.
Oh, yeah, they read that
voicemail.
stuff, yeah.
Yeah. Today, I think the defense is going to be crossed today.
Light into the, yeah.
Yeah, and they're ridiculous, though. I mean, God, well, they are clutching at straws so bad.
Yep.
I mean, earlier this week, I believe it was Monday, they're trying to pin down this investigator for 1/10,000th of a second difference in time between when it was transmitted from the transmitter point to the cell tower and how many feet would the phone have moved. And he said, well, you're dealing 186,200 miles a second here. So he said, well, what's the math? You ought to know. He said, I don't know. And finally the judge stepped in and said, hey, stop it. You can't. No one knows that. You can't judge it. Was it 22 feet or 21 feet, 21 foot 6 inches? But they grind down to these little tiny details. And then if you slip up, they'll come back and they say, yeah, but you said.
That's
And they go
right.
back to like, you said during the grand jury investigation 2.5 years ago that it was 2.16 inches of snow. Now you say it was 2.5 inches. Which is it? Can we believe you today? You lied about the snow.
So my question, I've asked this before, never mind whether she's guilty or not. What will the jury decide?
That's the problem. That's the crux of the problem. We've talked about this before. England uses professional jurors.
And I'm a big proponent of that.
I am too, because you're not dealing with some dummy off the street that you can convince
Yeah.
by some hook or crook. And these defense attorneys are good at that, twisting stuff around, and maybe not quite false, but just enough to throw doubt into some jurors. And you take, I don't know if it's 10 jurors or 12 or whatever the case is, you're always going to find a couple of slow thinkers in there that are really susceptible to this kind of stuff.
That don't want to be there.
That
too.
don't want to be there.
They'll fall into a trap or something.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Exactly.
So call it? What is it going to be? Guilty or not guilty?
Oh, geez, Bill. If it's logic, it's guilty. If they got now they kicked 4 of them off, or 5 or 4.
So yeah.
They were obviously snuck in there under false pretenses, and I'm not sure that there's not a couple more in there that are going to vote not guilty, regardless what.
Do you think this has got mistrial written all over it?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do.
I think I can see a hung jury.
A hung
here.
jury, not so much mistrial, but hung jury. I think.
Yeah. I think she's going to walk. I really and truly. They can't get that smoking gun in her hand.
No, they come up pretty close on the forensics. The forensics are very strong, but. Again, the jury is made up of her peers, and you don't know who's in that jury because they don't tell the truth all the time. Do you have any bias? Do you know
some of them want to be
absolutely.
On that.
They'll do anything to get on it.
Yeah, and those are the ones you want to kick off.
Yeah, there's several reasons. So
Yeah.
one is that they're Karen Reed fans, and you always got 1 or 2 that think there's a book in this. I can go to. I don't have to write the book. I can go to Schuster and they'll send up a ghostwriter, and there's $1 million worth of money in this for me.
Yep.
Publicity.
Now, so what's your gut feel? Is she guilty?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I watching the evidence. You'd have to be deaf, dumb, and blind to ignore that stuff. If it walks like a duck, quacks like a duck, swims like a duck, it's probably a duck. And the defense is, they had this one woman that tried to testify. She's supposed to be some kind of expert. Oh, those marks came from a dog or an animal attack.
Yeah.
They're scrapes just like a car ran over them. And then now 2 more people said, no, that's, I've had 50 cases or 100 cases of vehicle strikes, and the injuries there are blunt trauma from a vehicle.
Now, prior to the trial, there was a nutbag computer guy that was her champion, and they shut him down.
Yeah, I forgot.
Not Squirrel Man, but something like that.
Oh yeah, what was Lizard Man?
Something like
Turtle
that.
Man. Turtle Man.
Turtle Man.
That was it. Yeah,
That's it.
He was a nutcase.
Yeah.
He was a real bonus out of
They
life.
did one hell of a job of shutting him down. You haven't heard one
Yeah,
word
he just
from
disappeared.
him.
It's almost like they
Yeah.
sent him to Russia or Siberia.
I imagine the judge said, now, listen, son,
Yeah, this is nuts. Yeah.
one word out of you, and you're going to find out how many days I can give you in the can.
Mm-hmm. Turtle Boy.
Turtle Boy.
Turtle Man, yeah.
Turtle Boy. Turtle Boy. That's it.
I could never figure out his motivation either.
I don't know.
10, Bill.
Okay, thank you, Andrew. Let's get to the other thing I had here. That
Okay.
the prison affair. Is this reversible, or do you think that?
You mean, can
no.
we stop it?
Yeah.
No.
And the reason I say that is all of a sudden now, the state has, well, it's going to be a couple more weeks past what we planned. Do you think that she's put her finger in her mouth and raised it and was trying to figure out which way the wind is blowing?
Oh, yeah.
She wants to be governor again.
Yeah, oh yeah, she has jumped all over this because she thought, well, everybody would be, the poor migrants, everybody's going to be, oh, she's doing such great work. When she finds out there's a pushback, now she's not quite as enthusiastic about it, I think.
The people in Norfolk are pushing back.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised.
I am too.
I think it's those in the know that worked there at that Bay State facility and live in the town and don't want to see this occur. They have knowledge about why they shut the place down to begin with. What were the reasons? There was something in there. Why did they suddenly shut down Bay State?
Oh, I get a little different spin on that. They are trying to deinstitutionalize every prisoner they can
Well, I
find.
know that.
And there's a whole facility there.
Yeah.
We can shut this whole thing down because this is the pre-release center. Well, let's just release them now and out the door.
Because I think it's got more problems than what they're disclosing.
Well, they shut it down for what, 5 years?
It's almost 10 years.
Is it 10?
Yeah, 2015.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, you leave a place like that, all kinds of things can be
Pipes
happening.
are not working like they used to.
I'm very concerned, and I had a brain flower awakening, if you will. But we have two groups coming. We have
Yep.
the illegal border crossers. I don't know what to call them these days.
Asylum seekers.
Asylum seekers. There we go. Thank you. And we have the homeless.
That's right.
Yes.
Now, the asylum seekers are, I think, less of a problem, especially the ones families with kids. They bring other problems, flooding the school system. What I'm concerned about is the homeless that are living in the streets of Boston, like at Mass and Cass, the drug addicts, the alcoholics, the criminals, the deinstitutionalized mental patients,
Yeah.
the ne'er-do-wells.
PTSD people, yeah.
Yeah. This is what we're bringing to Norfolk. And I asked the question at one of the meetings, will they have access to just walk out the door and walk around Norfolk?
There's no walls.
Oh,
There's no
but listen to the answer. Yes, they will, but
but.
Curfew.
they have to be back at 7 o'clock.
Right.
Yeah, they're so afraid of that curfew. Oh, my
when
gosh.
they come finally straggling in half drunk at midnight, it'll just be shut up and
Well,
go
the
to
question
bed.
was,
Or don't come back for
was
3 or 4
presented-
days.
Well, the question was presented. What happens when they show up late? Are they not allowed in? Oh no, then they get a strike against them.
They get a demerit.
Then they get another strike against
Yeah.
them. Then they get a third strike against them, and like, okay, then what happens?
3 strikes and you're out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Then they send them to another facility.
Yeah.
So that was the whole premise of it was,
Yeah, it's
you got a curfew, but who cares if you break it?
I can also see another problem. The state owns a lot of property in Norfolk.
yes,
I
they
can
do.
also see our governor saying, let's build multiple units of housing.
That's right. On state
We can
lands.
put 24 units in a single building. And let's just take this section of
Got
land
it. Fine.
and that section of land and put 100 or 150
Yeah.
buildings like that up. Gee, what will that do to our school system?
Yep.
It's going to be a problem, no matter what. Is it going to happen? I don't know.
But that's why I'm asking the question. People are really upset. I mean,
I don't think they realize it.
yeah, I think
I don't
maybe.
think they really care. Well, I
You
think
know,
they
there
don't
are-
care. I don't think, like Jay says, I don't think they know. They know. They don't think about what's going to happen down the road.
Right.
And we've got a big section of population in this town. I don't want to use, but I should. They're yuppies.
Well, that's a good.
They got a lot of money. They're very mobile.
They're young.
A lot of them are here for a 4 or 5 year term.
Because we're a bedroom community.
And they're going to get transferred anyway. They're going to someplace.
Sure.
Other
They're working in a
corporation's
tech
gonna transfer
job or
them to
whatever.
someplace else. They don't really care.
Right.
Well, you know what? You've absolutely hit on a big problem. And let's pick at that scab some more. Norfolk is, what was our budget this year? 42 million?
48.
48 million. Right. We're a $48 million company. Who runs it?
That's right.
3 volunteers.
Yep.
Okay, unpaid. Okay? This is unacceptable.
It's a thankless job.
Well, it is, and it is. We have got to get professional people in to run the bloody town. First of all, it should start probably with a first-class, experienced town manager. Then forget about the selectmen, dump them, and go to a 7 or 9 member town council.
Yeah, with managerial experience.
Exactly.
Yeah, that old selectman. That's some back from the colonial days. That's
Yeah.
so
Right,
far,
yeah.
just so unyieldy, unproductive, open to all kinds of bad things.
Yeah. Listen, it's the cronyism
Yeah, exactly.
system, the same one that, like patronage. Oh, you're Eddie's son. Yeah, we can put you up to DPU, I guess, or something.
Right.
Yeah. But we've got to realize
True, William.
that this town has become too big, too complicated for part-time management.
That's right.
Yeah.
That don't really know what they
Volunteers.
how to run an organization.
Well, exactly. I know them, 2 of them, well.
You get to play around with $48 million. What are you going to
Yeah,
do?
that is another thing that worries me too, is playing around with that kind of money. Got to have good governance. We can't continue along. And look at our tax rate. Well, I'm not so concerned about the tax rate. Look at the tax bills.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We are the highest taxed town in the area.
We had our tax. Well, I don't fool them anymore. Monica used to work for H&R Block. She doesn't want to do it. I said, fine. I said, well, go someplace, sit down, have them do it. 10 minutes later, they got it all filed electronically. We're all done. Sat there, and the woman says, "You guys pay a hell of a lot of taxes in Norfolk." I said, no kidding.
Oh, gee, rub it in, why don't you?
And
Boy.
they just added more to it with that.
Yeah.
that
Oh, and listen, when we absorb these kids into town and we have to hire teachers, translators, teachers' aides that can speak 2 languages
Yeah.
or 4 languages
That's
or
right.
6 languages.
If there's one kid speaking
Yeah.
Swahili, we
Yeah.
got to hire a
That's
Swahili
right.
speaker.
Absolutely. Otherwise, he's going to feel left out.
Yep.
Won't know how to speak English.
Well, all right. Andrew has given us the magic signal that we need to take a break.
We're good.
And I'm sure you folks can probably take a break from us yelling and screaming at you.
Is that what this means?
Yeah.
You've been beheaded.
Yeah.
We'll be right back.